Protecting a family's financial welfare with life insurance is one of the most important decisions your clients will make, and understanding how to explain other insurance policies is crucial to helping clients through these decisions. I'm Steve Madison, Vice President of Insurance Marketing, and today we continue the In the Know series on how to break down an indexed universal life insurance policy. One of the fastest growing insurance products being sold is Indexed Universal Life, or IUL. It's a product you will come across while at the kitchen table, and being prepared to discuss it with your client is important to your business. We will walk through the top downfalls of this product for most consumers. We are not the only ones who are critical of this product and how it is sold. Insurance companies who traditionally sell whole life have publicly criticized it as well. The first downfall of this product is the high cost of insurance. The client needs to remember the first purpose of life insurance is that it be used for income protection. The problem with any type of cash value policy, especially IUL, is a client most likely can't afford the full amount of protection their family needs. So the next time you are in the situation that a client has an IUL policy, be sure they understand the cost difference between IUL and term. Now, if I were talking to the client, I would ask, wouldn't you agree your first responsibility for your family is to have all the coverage you need? The second downfall of IUL is its complexity, and complexity does not favor the buyer. IULs have many moving parts and an abundance of administration and management fees, and charges making it difficult to truly understand what you are buying. Not only are these fees confusing, they can be substantial. Just think of all the coverage a family could buy if they weren't spending the money on the various fees the insurance company requires. The best way to illustrate this is to go through the policy and follow the money trail. Typically, the fees are paid first, and then the cost of insurance, and after everything else is paid, whatever is left over is then put into the cash value account. One of the things we always teach our clients is to pay yourself first, and IUL doesn't follow that philosophy. The other area that complicates these policies is some of the benefits and values are not guaranteed and are subject to change by the insurer. Typically, on IUL policies, the insurance company has the right to change the caps on growth of the accounts. We'll talk more about that topic in a few minutes. The company can change what a client may think they have. So, not only could IUL policies be more expensive than term insurance and confusing, they could also be unpredictable. Once again, after showing a client about the complexities of an IUL, I would ask, if Warren Buffett, the famous investor, has a philosophy to never invest in something he doesn't understand, don't you think you should also use the same advice? The third downfall I would like to highlight about how IULs work is their rate of return. The way these policies were sold has actually led to a change in the law for most states, limiting the way they can be illustrated. They have historically been sold with this no-lose scenario in which the client gets the upside of the market with a guarantee from the insurance company. The challenges are they are sold showing these high rates of returns from the index, and the policy needs these returns to pay for some or all of the future annual cost of keeping the policy in force. Not only can IUL policies be sold with these larger-than-life returns, they don't discuss the details of how the index really works. First of all, the client's money isn't actually invested in the actual stocks. It is put into the investment portfolio of the insurance company that is typically bond-heavy. Because the money is not really in stocks, Many of these policies exclude reinvested dividends when calculating the interest they pay. This is one of the ways that investments grow in any fund. The company also puts caps on how much money they will put into the client's account. That means if the cap is, let's say, 10%, and the index grows by 15%, the client only gets the 10% growth. So now the policy, which is depending on these larger-than-life returns, is being impacted by not receiving the dividends, and the growth is capped. I think the Wall Street Journal captured this well when they said, beware of pitches suggesting you can use the accumulated income in retirement. If the interest income falls short of projections, there might not be much or any money to pull out. Worse yet, the policyholder has to find tens of thousands of additional dollars to keep the policy in force. If the savings have fallen far short of what the consumer banked on. I would ask a client, how do you feel about your family's future being built like a house of cards where wrong moves could send it all tumbling down? The fourth downfall of IUL is that it may not be their best option for a retirement plan. So many of these policies are sold as an investment and may give the client a false sense of security. In some markets across the U.S., I have heard insurance agents use the term that this falls under IRS Code Section 7702 to make it sound as if it is a retirement plan. Let's get one thing straight. All Section 7702 is referring to is the section of the IRS Code that talks about life insurance. I love the search results for Google when you search 7702 retirement plan. And I quote, "That's just a made-up name to try to make a cash value life insurance policy look as legitimate as a 401k or 403b plan for retirement saving." 7702 is the section of the Internal Revenue Code, the tax code, that addresses the tax rules surrounding life insurance contracts having a cash value component to them. These insurance agents may use fear of taxes to sell a client on these reasons to own these policies and to add money to the policies. The agents prey on the ignorance of clients to give up the true growth potential of being in the market in exchange for the ability for them to take advantage of the tax rules surrounding cash value policies during the accumulation phase of their wealth. I don't know about you, but I would rather have a lot more money, which may be taxable, than a small amount of money that isn't. Remember, the client may still use an actual retirement plan that was designed by the government, such as an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, or 403b. Theoretically, the only client who should even consider IULs are the ultra-wealthy who have exhausted all other tax advantages. With all that being said, if you just read the contract to the client, it shows there's generally no cash accumulated for the first few years. You have to borrow the money, and if there isn't enough money in the policy, it will lapse. My challenge to the client would be, does that sound like a wise use of your money? The last reason an IUL is not the right choice for a client is it is still a cash value policy. And all the downfalls we've previously discussed in the In the Know series still hold true in an IUL. All they did is added a few new concepts to an old idea. In my opinion, you can add all the bells and whistles on a bad car. It still does not make it a good car. It just becomes an overpriced car with bells and whistles that are not needed. by showing a client how, if they were to take the same amount of money they would have used in an IUL and show them the true coverage they can get with a term policy, as well as investing the difference with the help from an investment licensed representative, is all the proof I need. I would ask the client, wouldn't you agree it makes sense to buy term and invest the difference than to purchase an IUL? Hopefully, this information will be useful the next time you are at the kitchen table and your client has an IUL policy. Giving your clients the education they need to make the right decision is just another way that Primerica is able to give your clients peace of mind with their life insurance coverage.